for just joining us last month. We had a great time. And y'all, we are in store for a treat tonight. Now, tonight we are dealing with the topic, and I know some people have questions, but it is single with purpose. And even before the show started, someone asked me, "Well, Akeisha, you're married. Why are you doing a show with singles?" Okay, first of all, the open book, we host different topics. Okay, we have our guests, comedians, we have poetry, we also have guest authors for a variety of books, and we have community forums. And one of these would be our panel discussion. Not just for marrieds because I'm married, but I also have a host of singles who are a part of the open book. Another reason is some of you may not know, but I've spent the majority of my life so far single. Okay, more times single than married. And in my church, Dayspring Family Church, I was also over the singles ministry for probably about 8 or 9 years. And so I've always had a passion for singleness. I also prayed when I got married. I'm like, Lord, please don't make me too far removed from that, because I always want to relate to singles and not just be married and say, oh, I forgot what it was like to be single. No, I want to be able to relate to singles and still be able to minister. I'm not too far into my marriage where I can say, I don't know anything about that, but I can also give some tips, okay, and some advice. Look, think about these things because this is to come. And so tonight we want you to have fun. We hope that you are inspired and blessed by something that is said. We have a great panel tonight. And so I'll kind of talk a little bit about them. And then we're going to get started because we have a guest comedian tonight that is actually coming out of retirement just for us. And she told us that it's been 10 years, y'all, but she is funny. Her name is Candice, and she's going to bless us tonight. But first, I do want to introduce the panel of people that we have tonight. So if y'all can turn your videos on, I want to introduce them. And then when we get to the panel discussion, I'll let them give more information, okay? So first we have Candice Mills, and I met her, I was invited to a comedy event through Jazz Tape. And so I remember I sat in the front, I can remember the church and everything. And when I tell you, Candice has this fun, way of just really getting you to laugh. I laughed the entire time. And so she came and she did so many events with our singles ministry. Anytime they would have an event, I would go and just enjoy them. So we are in for a treat. We also have my friend Katrina Moore as one of the panelists tonight. And when I tell you, Katrina has been there for your girl. We started off knowing each other in band at Wall Trip in Houston, but Katrina also, even recently when I lost my mom, she came to the funeral and she gave such beautiful words about my mom. And so I would never forget that moment. But when I tell you, the girl is funny too, okay, and I can be real with her and laugh with her, and I just really love her. She can tell y'all she travels more than anyone I know, okay, so she'll talk a little bit about that. Miss Chondra Taylor, I met in New Jerusalem. I visited there, and she was so welcoming. Her spirit, I really love her spirit, caring spirit. She is such a jewel, but she's also going to share her unique testimony about how she is single. Sometimes we think, oh, everyone's single because they've never been married, but we become single in different ways, okay? And so Miss Chandra, she's going to talk a little bit about that. And last but not least, we have my brother, Mr. Royce Williams. I know if you're DFW area, you know about Royce, okay? I can say he stays safe when he wants to stay safe. My brother Royce is a comedian in his own right, but don't let him fool y'all. He is funny, but also, y'all, he's very encouraging, and we consider him family. So I am so happy to have everyone on here tonight. So what's going to happen first tonight, y'all? We're going to have Miss Candice Mills start us off with some of her comedy. Get ready to laugh.
Hey, everybody. Thank you, Royce. Thank you. Hey, I mean, you got all these funny people on here. We can all just take turns and just tag team, but whatever. Hey, how's everybody doing? I know it's Saturday evening. And it looks like I'm amongst the right age group where Saturday evenings we're at home chilling for the most part. So and preparing for the next week. But I'm going to share a little bit with you all. Lakeisha has already said it. I have literally come out of retirement. I have not really been consistent with comedy for various reasons. The last thing I did, the last comedy show I did, I got booed off the stage, and so I'm playing. But I'm playing, but for various reasons. For one, because you do want people to take you seriously. A lot of times, especially if you put that out there, I wear many hats. And so when you put that out there that you do stand up, people just always think that you're coming in the room to make people laugh. And that's not always the case. Sometimes I just want to sit back and be quiet and look serious like everyone else. But I will tell you all this. I have been happily divorced for 12 years. I can't even say 12 long years because all 12 of those years have been absolutely fulfilled. And I am a mother of two beautiful daughters that come from that marriage. And I don't just call them beautiful because they're mine. I can actually look at them and say they are really beautiful. Every parent can't do that, but it's okay. It's all right. But needless to say, I have been happily divorced for 12 years and just got to the place, honestly, where I'm ready to get back out there and mingle. And, as a mother, for me, I'm very protective of my daughters and, just try to be very careful with who I bring around my daughters. And, everyone can't come to my home. But I will say this, I've been trying to get back out there, and y'all, it's just different. It's different, and it's I can't even say scary. It's weird. Everybody wants to text when they court, and I'm like, I'm old school, you know. So I tried it one time. I said, okay, I'll see what this is about. I don't believe in doing paragraphs in a text. After a while, pick the phone up. I'm finna call you. What was on your mind? And so I remember once I was talking to a guy, and he was texting me, inboxing me a lot. We exchanged numbers, but the conversation was always in a text. And I'm like, hey, can you pick up the phone? And he wasn't doing it in certain times of the day, because usually when they do that, you already know, okay, this man is spoken for. So yeah, I don't have time. If I want to reach out to you, I should be able to reach out to you whenever. And so I decided to pick up the phone one day because I had it. I was like, these long paragraphs are too much. I don't have time to be typing paragraphs to get to know you. We can take care of a lot of this over the phone. And so I called the number, right? And so I'm sitting there and I'm hearing hello. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I hung up the phone. I hung up the phone. I was like, this dude is married. Oh my God. Like, what is going on? And so then he texted me and he was like, hey, did you just call me? I'm like, yeah, I just called you. What's up? Like, why didn't you tell me you were married? I told you be forthcoming with me. I don't know what's going on, but I don't play those type of games. And so he's like, oh, no, I'm not married. And I said, oh, was that your daughter? He was like, no, that was me. Y'all, we got to stop this. We got to stop, because I thought I was talking to another woman. I mean, I need to hear your tone. I need to know who I'm talking to at all times. I don't need surprises like that. You know what I mean? I mean, you get on social media, people are posting these pictures of themselves. The pictures are outdated. I have locks now. So, I have to update my pictures. I don't need people seeing pictures of me relaxed. Every man don't like locks. So I need y'all. Look, I need to see you post weight gain. I don't have time for this. So it's been frustrating for me, y'all. My daughters, they're of age. My oldest is 19. My baby's 16, gonna be 17 in a few months, and I'm emotional about that. But it's sad when your kids see you sitting at home and they like, when you gonna go out? Like, they doing interventions with me. They trying to push me out the house. And I'm like, well, but I'm living vicariously through them. I'm like, oh, so what he say, girl? Mom, go on and get your own bed. Go. So y'all pray my strength, because it's just not easy. I tell people all the time, and my daughters are in this era where they believe you can get to know someone through texting. And I told you I tried it, but I need to hear your voice. I need to hear your tone. I had one of my my sister friends told me, she was like, girl, you ready to get back out there? I want you to start posting more selfies of yourself. And I'm like, "Well, I don't even take pictures like that. I mean, people that know me, I'm not good with selfies. I try to angle the phone falling out my hand. Yeah, I'm just being real. That's just not me. It's just not me, y'all. I don't do selfies. But what I do are professional photo shoots. So, I'm quick to send that. I'll send that off. But they send me a pic. Well, oh, okay, we did this back in 2020. This is from the family photos. Yeah, I just don't do selfies. I got, another sister friend. She told me to go on this dating app, and I told her, I can't do internet dating. I just can't do it. I can't. And she was telling me, she said, well, I want you to go into this one singles group on Facebook. And she said, I want you, I want you to go in there and just give it a try. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little spiritual. And I'm very cognizant of how things make me look. Cause I don't ever want to look desperate. And, I see everybody posting pictures. Hey, I'm new to the group, got their little sexy pictures. And I know I look good. I keep it together. I'm 44. I don't look my age, but I'm sitting up there. My friend go off on me. Nobody knows you're there because you're silent. And I'm like, well, I'm supposed to hide. He's supposed to play safe. I'm supposed to be hiding, She said, I'm trying to help you get out. Y'all pray my strength. It's just, it's hard in these streets. It's hard in these streets. Lakeisha, you talking about your friend Katrina, how she travels for her job, or I'm assuming it's her job. And I travel for my job as well. I have met many people from traveling, and it's by happenstance. It isn't anything that I seek to do. But now that I'm at a place where I'm ready, and I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, where I'm ready to get out there, ain't nobody ready for me. It's almost like a slap in the face. I'm like, now I'm ready. I'm looking for people like, well, brother, when you was hitting me up all the time, he married now. I'm like, well, what did happen? Pray my strength, y'all. It's hard in these streets. It's hard in these streets. But one of the things I always tell myself, because I know that I'm very picky. I know that I'm very picky, and there are certain things that I look for where there are a lot of things that I look for in the quality of my mate, my next mate. And so I just, y'all pray my strength, because it's hard. And one of the things that I'm finding is that y'all can take it whatever way y'all want to take it. The older we get, you think, especially when I was younger, I just knew that people had it together the older that they got. But I'm 44. I just turned 44, and I see, and it's not just men. So I don't male bash at all. I love my Black brothers. I love y'all. I stand with Angie Stone when she created that anthem. But I'm telling you, we got to get it together. It's so many people that were older, but I see so many people that it's still like life is a game. So the games I play, I don't play spades, but the games I play, I play Connect Four, Scrabble, little, Uno, little gin rummy, those are the kind of games I play. I'm like, we're too old for this. We're too old for this. But y'all pray my strength, because it's hard in these streets. Lakeisha, back to you.
Ma'am, look, I'm down for some Uno myself, okay? I am so, oh my gosh.
And phase 10, don't play. Phase 10.
Yes, and that can go on and on and
you hear
on.
me?
Oh my gosh, can we give her a hand clap? Woo! Oh my gosh, y'all. I am like choked up over here over that voice. Oh my goodness, when you said, girl, that took me out. You have to get, I will say this, okay, to that right quick, but before we go any further, y'all, with my own husband, okay, I met my husband through Facebook, okay? He sent me a message, and I'm like, well, who is this guy, because I don't really do too many inboxes and all of that. So, I checked him out, whatever, went on his profile. So the whole time we hadn't seen each other in person for like 2 weeks. So I would ask him, okay, how tall are you and so forth. He never quite knew how tall he was. And so when it was time for us to meet, I was like, let me get there early in case this guy's a midget. Because if he's a midget, I'm taking off. Royce, I'm taking off. get to see people in person and things like that. So that is scary when you're behind the scenes and really don't know what you're getting into. So it made me think about that because I was so nervous. And then when he sent his sister in there to meet me first, he brought his sister and his brother-in-law on our first date because he was nervous. So I couldn't take off running too far because his sister was there first while they were parking the car. But anyways, it's a long story. But thank you so much. So Candice is going to stay with us because she's also a part of the panel as well. And so as I just mentioned, I was over the singles ministry for a minute. And I went through a lot of struggles, throughout my singleness as far as getting to really know me. People do not realize how important each season is in your life. Sometimes we can think of being married as a promotion or a higher level. No, they're just different seasons. I can think of 10 pros as to why it's probably good to be single. And I can think of 10 pros as to why it's probably good to be married, okay? And vice versa. So my thing is really that single state is a preparation for the next season. It got to the point, I was going through and I was like, okay, God, I started, I was attracting the same type of God for, I was saved, I think, at that time. And so when I was getting serious with my walk, I said, God, why am I attracting the same type of God? Because it's not working, okay? So I need you to cover me and help me through this process. Well, I didn't know that God was going to shut off everyone. No one paid me any attention for some years. And so I remember I was in a Walmart, and this is how I knew that God was taking the cover off. This guy, he was not flirting. He was not trying to talk to me. He had a basket and he rolled by me and he said, I just want to tell you, you are so beautiful. And so I was like, thank you, sir. And I kept walking and it was like, God was like, the cover is off. So I knew it wasn't going to be long before my mate did come. It was to the point after a while, I was like, okay, I dated a couple of more. And I said, God, I remember I was going to work one day and I broke out crying. And this was the turning point. And I said, if you want me to be single, I need you to remove the desire out of my heart. If you want me to be married, I need for you to choose him. That evening, when I surrendered to God, my will, now I was like, look, it's not my decision anymore. Let you do it. That evening is when my husband inboxed me. No joke. That turned into us dating and ended up marrying, I think 9 months later. And we've been married, thank God, for 7 years, a little over 7 years. So I thank God for that. But I said that to say, be patient, allow God to let you go through the process because there is so much for us to learn in each season, not just, oh, this season is better or this is better, but in each season, God has something for us. Okay, so we're going to shift gears and we're going to go through our panel because as I stated, we're single sometimes for different reasons. And sometimes people don't understand that being married and then being single has some other things behind the scenes that people go through with that. Having a spouse and that spouse passing away and now you're single again has a whole nother story, okay? Never being married has a whole nother story. So I want these people to share a little bit about themselves and their testimony. And we'll start off with Candice. If you could just give us a little bit about yourself. I know you talked a little bit and told us some of that so far, but share with us a little bit about how you became single.
I became single because, no, I'm playing. This is my time to vent. No, I'm playing. Um, so I am silly, y'all. I really am. I'm silly. That's just a part of my character. But I was married for 8 years, and I was married to a preacher. That was nothing new for me because my dad was a pastor. That runs all in my family on both sides of it, especially my dad's side. Um, but I ended up, and it was something. I'll just say this really quick. I was married for 8 years. Um, And I knew by maybe like year 4, year 5, I said, I just don't feel like this is going to work. It was something while we were together, engaged and courting. He was in the military, so we met through a mutual friend. And so ended up getting swept off my feet, got married, had 2 beautiful daughters out of it. But I knew by the time I was in year 4 that it just wasn't going to work. And it was something that I prayed about constantly. And I remember when God did release me from my marriage, we had separated, and we were separated for about 9 months. Now, me, I don't even play games like that. You gone, you gone. Go leave all the way, leave. I don't have a swinging door. I just don't. And so, but what ended up happening, we reconciled, at least I reconciled. And shortly after reconciling, things were just back. I mean, there was such a major, and there were things that he brought into my home, even on the spiritual side, to where I was like, God, I can't do this. But when God released me from him, when God finally released me to go ahead and divorce, and I had all grounds, even biblically, to divorce, I was out of there. And so that is why, and I'm not going to say that's the only reason why I'm single, but I have daughters to protect, because that affected them even to this day. My oldest is 19. So, the fear of rejection, the fear of being hurt and deceived. And so, but yeah, so that is why I am divorced.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing that with us, because there are other people out here that have gone through a divorce. So tonight, Candice may say something that you're like, resonates with you. And we're praying that you're encouraged by that. Okay, my brother Royce, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. My name is Royce Williams. I'm 36 years old. Dallas, Texas raised. Church born. If you ain't joining, you got to be, you know how they say it. But my background is very unique and very, I grew up in church. So I'm just gonna be honest tonight, because Keisha, you must have really prayed unto the Lord, because all day today, honestly, everywhere I've been today, I've been talking about relationships. And I'm just like, okay, God, you must be preparing me. And all this week, and I've just been reflecting. So just to get to the point, I grew up in the church. I love my foundation. I'm grateful for that. But I am just coming into the knowledge of singlehood. 36 years old. I'm gonna be very honest, and because my background was, and I told my family this, as I grew up, I thought, and I grew up in the Pentecostal Church of God in Christ. I grew up at that time in the 80s and 90s, in which I felt like it was a sin for me to date. And the relationships I did have, when I was younger, the people that you like, my not my I just let me be real tonight. I'm gonna just be real. How I got it,
transparent.
I'm gonna be transparent. My stepfather, me and him, our relationship is getting better. But when he came in this picture, I had a father in the home, and I'm not blaming everything on him. It's just, this is where I am now. I'm healing. So, and this is what my counselor is telling me to do. So I'm kidding. But but on the real though, it's like that upbringing. And so when I was getting, when I began to discover I'm liking things, I'm liking this person, I was getting, no, you save and all this stuff. And so one of my real relationships didn't happen until I got older. And I haven't been in a whole lot of relationships. I like folks. Keisha, you know that. One particular person, but we ain't gonna go there because she was here this week and I didn't even go to a concert because I don't even like it no more. Let me say that publicly, because several people tried to come for me this week saying, you going to the concert? No, I'm not going to the concert. I don't even know who you're talking about. Okay. Oh, that was my little childhood crush. Okay, it's the safest place in the whole wide world is not. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey.
But what got me to where I'm single now, I was in a very serious relationship with a young lady in the church who I met through a mutual friend. We were up to the point where we got engaged. I told someone, and Keisha, you know I'm gonna be crazy. I love the hell out of her, but I saw the signs from the beginning. But I was trying to be the charmer, the Prince Charmer. I was trying to be God in the relationship, and she took advantage of that. And when I finally walked away, a friend of mine thought I was crazy. It was to the point where I was liking her. You know, when you're trying to charm her and all this, we wasn't even together, and I was sending her flowers, just trying to do different things. And one friend of mine, you not even doing nothing, and I'm doing like I just like her. So we finally got together. Long story short, God was maturing us, but it got to a point where I proposed. I was the youth leader at the church where we was going. Proposed to her in front of the whole church the week of Christmas. Well, I'm being real tonight, and if some people see it, God bless you. I still love y'all. Okay, so proposed to her, a whole thing. My whole family was not even there, but that's a whole nother subject because God saved me from disaster. I'm just gonna be real. So we was practically together for almost a good 3.5 years. I waited a whole full year because people kept pushing, you should get married and engaged. No, I want to get to know this demon. I'm just being honest. I need to get to know her, and fell in love and all this good stuff. And 2014, I never forget it. January of 2014, the Lord told me the first of the year, he said, wait, do not marry her. We were supposed to get married in March. I told her that. Let me get this correct, because this is the first time I'm really talking about it publicly. The Lord told me January of 2014 to wait. Well, miscommunication, as my girl was talking about earlier. I do not type pop. I deal with business text wise and all this. But one thing about our relationship, she texts more than Jesus. And I'm doing like, wait a minute. I don't do all this communication through text. I like to talk. And so when the Lord revealed to me what I needed to do, I told her through a text, and I finally called her. She didn't receive it. She's thinking I don't want to marry her. No, but see, we was getting confirmation. Somebody had told us we needed to go fast. I'm gonna hurry up, Keisha. I'm sorry. I'm gonna hurry up. But some people told us to pray and everything. And long story short, I promise you, we were supposed to go on a consecration right before this. The Lord, can we wait? I'm trying to see God for you because I really want to know where we need to be. I don't got time to play. I love you. Everybody around me is getting married, but I promised myself I would not be part of the hype. So I told her, could we wait? She didn't accept it. She thought I was running away. We was supposed to get married in March. February of 2014, my job calls me in where I'm working at the time. I was supposed to go in for a promotion. They turned that thing around, so we're letting you go. Remind you, I was supposed to be getting married in March 2014. My job lets me go. Where I'm working, I'm gonna be very honest, where I'm working at the time is where I'm living. You have 3 days to vacate your apartment. I'm trying to prepare for a marriage, a wedding, and all this happens. I get called into the pastor's office right before my job lets me go. If the Lord didn't tell you, if the Lord didn't tell her, he didn't tell you. That's another subject. But I knew what God heard. I knew what the Lord told me. And I'm going to say it like this. I'm going to be very honest. When I finally walked away, we tried to reconcile and work some things out. But I said, I'd rather wait on God than anything. She was understanding when I lost my job, and then she gave me an ultimatum. And I said it like this. I said, she gave me an ultimatum to wait till the summertime of 2014. No, I'm waiting on God. And then she said, if you don't marry me by the summertime, I'm leaving. I said, you can pack your bags now, and I need my peace. I walked away. I was at a major church here in Dallas. The youth leader, I walked away from it all because God gave me that. And that's when I became single and whole, and I am where I am now because of that situation.
Woo! Now, Royce, okay, ladies, I'm very protective of my brother. So, he is available, but I tell him, okay, tell me about her, accountability. So we want to make sure the right one connects with my brother. Thank you, Royce. Okay, and then next on our panel is Sister Chandra. If you could go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Chandra, and I was married for 27 years, and my husband passed away in December of 2018 from congestive heart failure and a whole bunch of other complications that went along with that. So the Lord has basically thrown me into singleness. And like Candice said earlier, it's hard out here in these streets, okay? Many times I say, I did not ask for this, but God had different plans. And also I didn't say I'm a mother of 6 wonderful young adults and 3 amazing, I can't even describe, beyond amazing grandbabies. So I'm getting used to, it's going on 3 years, so I'm getting used to being single. I'm learning a lot about myself because I'm an only child, and my father was a pastor, my mother was a missionary, Church of God in Christ, and they were very protective of me. I was only child, so I didn't do a whole lot. Back in the day, I'm 56. I just turned 56 on Tuesday, this past Tuesday. So I'm, the golden girl of the bunch right now. And and it's been interesting. I can really say it has literally been interesting. It's not for the faint of at heart, okay? Because it's just not like I thought it would be out here. Like I said, I lived with my parents until I got married. So, and I got married when I was 25. So I was at home until I was 25, spoiled. And I'm proud to say I was spoiled, okay? And just, I went from my parents' house to my husband's apartment. So, I was always, with somebody. I mean, well, yeah, I guess I wasn't alone, okay, put it that way. So then now that he's gone and my kids are all grown, everybody moved out, and it's just me. So getting used to being single, being alone, it's different. It's really different. That's about it.
Well, I thank you for being on here tonight. We need a variety. So I'm glad that you bring that spice and that variety of it, as far as don't think that, oh, I'm the oldest, but we want the variety in age. And you do have some beautiful grandchildren. I see all of your pictures of them. They are so, so beautiful. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And then last but not least, my friend Katrina. Can you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, I'm just gonna say, I guess you saved the best for last. I'm not, I was feeling some kind of way, but I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on, but it's all good. I just want to shout out a couple people I see in the text. Our good old friend Aurora and my aunt is also watching. So as Keisha said, like we go way back, and way back we were in band, we went to high school together. So yeah, I've known this girl for a long time, and it's really funny that even there's a point where we lost touch, but then when we reconnected like we hadn't missed a beat. So I'm always ever so grateful for her friendship uh, and all that good stuff. So singleness. So here's the thing. Words was like he felt some kind of way about dating, and I felt some kind of way about dating. In my lifetime, in my family, I've seen really dysfunctional marriages. So I just thought marriage was stupid. I never wanted to be married. I was like, if marriage makes you do that, I want no parts of it. So for a very, very, very long time, I never even wanted to be married. And today I would still say I don't necessarily want to be married, but I'm definitely not against it. Um, I'll agree with everybody on the consensus of online dating. It is just very exhausting between trying to weed out the scammers online and all that stuff. Yes, everybody wants to text, and I'm such a talker. I'm a very extroverted person, so I need to talk. I need to see you, like all that kind of stuff. We're just not gonna text our day away. That doesn't make any sense to me. And then I just think men are confused as to what they want sometimes. Much like ladies can be, but um, especially I think what I'm experiencing now is like as I am of a certain age, so you shift into a new dating pool. You go from dating men who have primarily been single and maybe having girlfriends to dating men who are now divorced. And that is a whole like another can of worms. It is. I was like, oh, you got some issues. Like you shouldn't even be dating, homie. Like I'm gonna need you to go sit in that corner over there and just leave me alone for 5 minutes. And so I think Candice said this about how some people act or whatever. I tell my friends all the time, like if I tell you I'm going out with somebody, don't learn his name because he might not be around. He might be gone. Like don't commit it to memory shot because he might be gone in 2 weeks. And I would cycle your ass out real quick. I ain't got time for the nonsense. Like I'd be like, swipe left next. So that's kind of my thing. That's kind of, I mean, I don't want to jump ahead to the questions. There's other thoughts in my head, but you say just the introduction. So, and I do travel. I think I travel solo too. And it's funny because I know people who have their whole life planned out to a degree of like, well, I'm gonna do all these things when I get a husband. And full disclosure, my family buried my 46-year-old cousin this afternoon. So life ain't guaranteed to nobody. And if you're waiting for these special moments or this special person to do these certain things with, man, you could be dead tomorrow. Not to be all gloomy, but I mean that's just the reality of it. Like you could be gone. And so it's like I have I live in a very deliberate way that I try to live my best life. Like whatever I'm doing, I live a best life. That's not to say that I don't have plans and long-term goals of that thing, but I also try to be very much present and live in the moment because tomorrow's just not promised. And who's to say? You could probably meet your husband like on the beach in Greece somewhere. I don't know.
Right. That could be your field.
Girl, that's where he at, right? Like you like I ain't going to Greece by myself, but that's where he at, I don't know.
So I like that. I love when I tell you I love that about Katrina. She goes to different places. I mean, different countries and so forth. And a lot of times being single, some people can look at that, I should say, as a negative, like, oh my gosh, I'm so single and I'm alone and blah, 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 blah. And I even remember one time I was at this place and I was walking behind someone. And so her friend, they were talking and was trying to invite her to the singles event. She wasn't married, but she was like, I rebuked that. How are you going to rebuke your single state? I mean, you're single, you're not married. So there are some benefits though to being single. I know I miss my Sunday naps. I have to fight to have a nap. When I was single, I could come home from church, eat something and lay it down. Right now, I took a nap today. Hey, that there, when I tell you, was a rare moment. Okay. So a couple of you answered this. What are some good things about being single? I know Katrina talked about traveling. Anyone else have something that they want to share about a positive?
The freedom in everything. You don't have to check in. And I've been single for so long, checking in. I've had people do that when it's like you don't even know me. Like you don't check in with me. We don't know each other like that. But and then the also with my daughters being so much older, it's just of course I'm concerned as a mother, but not as concerned because they're responsible. So I travel every week for my job, so I just have so much freedom. You know what I mean? I can make decisions without having to consult and people do what you think. Oh, I'm so free.
I love it. Anyone else want to share on that one?
It's cheaper.
See,
Cheaper how? Tell me how it's cheaper.
She don't want to pay for nobody else.
I have no kids.
Right, I was gonna say, and I have women in my home, so
Peaceful.
Yeah, there you go. I have my peace. Oof, Jesus.
Sister Chandra.
Um, it's quiet for one, and I had 6 kids, so it's very quiet now. And the freedom of getting to, I guess, and I don't want to make this sound, bad on his part because I loved him and everything, but being able to eat what I want to eat, okay? Because there was things that he didn't like that I liked, and I didn't cook it because I knew, it was going to go to waste because it was just me going to eat it. So, because I was big on, I still am, I'm big on pasta. I can eat pasta every day. He didn't like pasta. So, I couldn't, I cooked it, but, and it was some of the kids liked it, some of them didn't. So it was just different things that I had to pick through. You had the picky kids, you had the kids that eat up your stuff. That's another thing. I don't have to worry about my stuff going missing. Okay. that's that's a good thing too, of being by myself. But yeah, that's one of the good things about the freedom. And like you talked about that nap. Oh my God, that nap is amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so on the other side of that, what are some misconceptions?
Hold on, ma'am. Hold on,
Oh,
ma'am. Hold
Katrina,
on,
sorry.
ma'am.
Go ahead.
Hold on,
I
ma'am.
thought you had already shared. My bad.
I mean, I did, but I didn't share everything. I think for me, it is you get to learn a lot about yourself. I think we live in an age where people hate to be alone and they hate to be by themselves. I remember a couple weeks ago for lunch, I'd gone out to lunch and went to this restaurant. The guy was like, "It's just you," and I'm like, "I'm my own best company, honey." And he was like, "Wow, I like that." And so I love being single, quite frankly. But I mean, yeah, you get to learn about yourself. It's kind of the thing that I talk about, like when I travel and like I find a place, some place I'm trying to go to in that city, and then I get there and I'm like, yes, I did it by myself. It's like that sense of accomplishment. But it definitely, I think you learn about yourself when you're single. Because to the people that have been married in these long term relationships, I think like what was her name? Shanda, about the pasta, like you can't eat, the person doesn't eat it, so you I think you forget parts of yourself, the parts of yourself that you just kind of flows off because you got this other person to be considerate of. And so I think for me the beauty of it is like I get to like know myself, and as such I know what I want and don't want in a relationship.
And I'm glad that you said that because, and this can go for anyone as well. We'll talk about your purpose. Because a lot of times you want to pretty much know you before you join with someone else. And of course, we grow and we evolve, but what are we doing in our single state? Have we discovered why God created us? Because I will tell you on the other side of that, getting into a marriage and trying to find that out, it makes it a little harder. But have some type of idea of why God created you. What is your purpose? So do you feel that you have discovered your life purpose in your single state? And anyone can answer that.
I don't know yet. I mean, that's kind of my prayer to God just about anything is to like help me figure out what my purpose here in life is, just on a very uh cellular level. Um, yeah, I don't think I found it yet, but I think to your point, trying to figure out who you are while you're attached to somebody else is kind of crazy. So I am very confident and comfortable in the person that I am.
One of the things for me, I mean, 12 years, I better had done something with learning myself. But even with that being said, sometimes we can feel a certain type of way if we feel like we have not really truly understood our purpose. But the thing that people have to understand, purpose evolves. Once you and it's one of the things where you learn is you're not going to arrive and have your wings and halo. Purpose constantly evolves. And so for me in this season, yes, and in my prior seasons, I've been understanding and taking steps understanding the purpose of this, the purpose of me being single, which is something that I've enjoyed. I've been very I don't even want to say satisfied or content, but I've been so happy. I chose to be happy with being single and making the best of, because I'm gonna tell you something. It's so many people who are broken and they're just looking for someone to save them, and then they understand, oh, I'm even more of a mess. Because now not only did I take my mess into this person's trying to help me. It doesn't work like that. So for me, I've allowed myself to understand, this is why I'm here. This is why I'm in this season. And I mean, I can say all day long, well, I was protective of my daughters, and that I was. But at the same token, if it was meant for me to be married, then I believe it would have happened. I believe it would have happened. And I'm not just going to just put that all on God, because we can mess things up on our own with what God has for us. But yeah, I've used these 12 years to allow myself to understand me, because that's the other thing. We change almost every 5 to 7 years. That's the other thing. So that's not just even with purpose, that's just us, our makeup. So yeah.
I agree with that. So Candice, so this question is for Candice and Sister Chandra. Do you think after, getting a divorce or losing a spouse, is it hard for you to open your heart up to someone? Because now, or how long, I guess this is another part of that. How long is a good amount of time? Because some people are fearful of opening their heart up again to someone else.
Chandra, did you want to go? Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I don't feel like there's a set amount of time, and I think it's based on the individual person's situation. I have a friend that she lost her husband. A year later, she was dating somebody, and she just got married not too long ago. In my situation, I feel like it's been almost 3 years. I feel like I'm ready to start dating. I mean, I have had several strange people approach, but anyway, just being honest. And I was ready, but they weren't ready. And yeah, so I just feel like, I'm at a point where, I'm learning myself again. Because like I said before, I was with my parents, and then after that, I went straight into marriage, so I didn't really get to know me as a single person. So now I know, me as a single person, I feel like, and I feel like I'm ready. I'm just, I'm waiting on the Lord to send the right one, and I'll wait in peace if he'll let me do that.
Wasn't really hard for me to open my heart up, but I am one, I hate rejection. I'm not one of those women that can, okay, well, let's go to the next one. I don't like rejection. The other thing is, I know no one's perfect, but I need you to be perfect for me. And I need you to have it together enough to where you have it together where you are not broken. I can't raise a grown man. I'm almost done raising my youngest. And so, yeah, I'm picky, and I've had people, you need to let your standards down. Well, if I do that, then I'm accepting anything. And so there have been times where I'm like, I'm good. So I wouldn't say my heart was closed, but I was off the market, even though I was single. But then there were times where I'm like where I am now. And I know, because it's sad, but it's true. Out of the 12 years that I've been divorced, these last 2 years, I have never been able to say that I am ready to be in a relationship and ready to be courted and meet the love of my life. I haven't been able to say that until these past 2 years. And it's not something that I always say either, because I don't want to put it out there and then then all kinds of bait comes towards me, and I'm not throwing it out there like that. But I did date. I've talked to many guys, and I'm one. It doesn't take me long to put it together. Okay, this is not going to work. This is a waste of time, or this is just going to be a wham bam, thank you, sir. And because we do it to women. Let's be real. You got what you doing? Oh, okay. So this ain't this ain't it. This ain't it. And I dated a guy. He was the only guy that I was serious with for 2 years. We dated for 2 years, and he was like a father to my daughters. So that was another reason why I took myself, because I had to heal over that. I had to heal over that, and my daughters had to heal over that, because it wasn't a bad relationship. It's just fear. He was divorced. I was divorced. And so long story short, it was one of those things where I had to re-heal, because it's like the thing that I knew that I wanted is no longer here. And so now we have to heal over this along with my daughters. So yeah. But my heart is open. I don't, it's open.
Oh, when I tell you the things you say, you're serious, but I'm like cracking up over here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for time's sake, I'm going to go through a couple of questions, maybe one or two. Jump in if you just have this answer that you just really want to get out there. What are some misconceptions or a misconception that people have about singles?
Ding ding. I want to answer.
Go ahead.
I jumped in. I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that we are lonely, and I can't speak for everybody on this panel, but I know I am not. I also think there's a misconception that when girl, I ain't lonely, what? Anyway, just like the comedian lady said, I can make a phone call now. That ain't nothing, boo. That ain't a thing, contact. But I think that people think that we're lonely, and like I said, I live a phenomenally filled life. It's very enriched. I'm very happy. And I think that second thing is to Candice's point as well, is like somehow or other we're supposed to be desperate and lower our standards, and we shouldn't want what it is that we want. Like, well, you've been single for XYZ years, you should just take whatever comes your way. Well, no, I'm sorry, sir, that's not acceptable.
I love this.
Katrina.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I totally agree. I told someone today, I have chosen in this season to be single. Now, she said something I want to hit on. In these crazy streets now, as a Black man, I must have integrity. I'm going to be very transparent. I have a friend. I don't even want to say a friend. I have someone I know who is interested in me. She's married and telling me I'm not being pleased. Oh, I'm getting real tonight. I share their boko. And I told her, I said, because I'm gonna be honest, you trying to see where they mind at, if they delivered or not. And she said something, then she did display something on social media. I said, you with the whole man, you with your husband, you don't have no integrity about that? I'm not gonna be put in that. No, I'm not gonna be put in that. I love myself and I respect your husband, and you are not. I chose. Now I can steal, but hell to the no, I would not, because I love God too much. I'm just being honest. So I want my peace. I'm not trying to, I'm representing God most of all. I'm not trying to be somewhere dead, because if you do it, God gonna get you. I have integrity. My family is here, and my thing, I have chosen in this season, and I'm gonna wait on. I stand on that, and I stand with conviction, because nowadays these married folks. Let me hush.
You, sir. Royce is something else. Oh my God.
I mean, he's serious. So people be having,
but he's telling,
to be like, hey girl. I be like, I'm sorry, like, you're buying a dress for your wife. Like, I need you to move it along.
Right. Can we raise Royce an offering right quick?
Royce, put that cash up in your chat.
Royce, drop that cash up, Royce.
Y'all, oh my gosh, I'm enjoying this. Okay, so is it something that you have discovered about yourself in your singleness that you are happy that you've discovered now rather than later in a marriage?
Repeat that question again. Can you repeat that again?
So is it something in your single state that you've discovered about yourself that you are happy that God has shown that to you about yourself right now in your single state than if he had shown it to you later in a marriage?
I'm gonna jump in and say this. I think to Candice's point, I think she mentioned something about like when she was married or something, she saw the flags and just things that she knew this wasn't gonna work. I think again, I'm gonna pivot back to the point of to really get to know yourself and to understand what you want and kind of what you're willing to accept and not accept when you're dating and if you choose to go down that path of marriage. Again, I just think people jump into relationships because they're tired of being alone. They jump into relationships because I need somebody to heal me, all these different reasons. People jump into relationships for the wrong reason. I'm lonely, so I'm gonna lower my standards and date this guy. It's like, why? Like that's not, that's ridiculous. So I think just on that level, again, to get to know yourself in a holistic way. See, I told you they're doing the most out here. To get to know yourself in a holistic way, but understand what you want. So when you meet that person, you are that. I mean, so I ended up connecting with a dating coach on Facebook or somewhere. We ended up being really good friends, and she sent me a copy of her book. And one of the things she said was just really profound, and it really stuck out to me. And I can agree with whoever else said that they kind of pulled themselves off the market to work on themselves. She said that women have this whole list of things that they require for a man, but are you the kind of woman that deserves that man? And that really like hit home for me. And I took some time out to just work on myself because you can't be like, I want a guy who's 6'2", 220 pounds, makes XYZ amount of money, but then you a chicken head. Like how that work? That don't really work. So I mean, like that really resonated with me when she said that. And I do think that gets lost in the sauce a lot of times.
Right, I agree. And I love the fact that you and Royce touched on the point of keeping, high expectations. Of course, we want to be realistic, but don't settle. If anything, I want to tell singles, do not settle. Don't worry about a clock. I got married when I was 35, and the Lord blessed me with kids when I was 38. And I was like, now look, Lord, I'm high risk now. You the one waited until I was 35 to send my husband. Okay. But be patient. Okay. I know we get tired. I didn't want to hear another prophecy about God was going to send my husband. I was like, I'm just waiting. Please don't prophesy that to me again. Okay. I had gotten to that stage. I felt like I was prepared. I was ready. And so God will do it though in his timing. Okay. So the panel in 30 seconds, what would be some words of encouragement for any singles who are watching tonight? Any encouragement or any advice that you would like to share with them? Let's start with Candice, and then I'll go across the screen.
Well, I'm glad Katrina touched on just having your stuff together. That's one of the biggest things that I tell women all the time. Don't be worried about being a stay-at-home mom. If that happens, it happens. But in the meantime, get your credit right. Learn how to invest your money. Learn what and what not to spend your money on. You don't have to get paid and then your check gone because you're buying the shoes and outfits. Learn how to invest. Save up your money so that you can purchase a house. And so that when that man come, y'all can decide, okay, you're going to live here, we're going to live here, we're going to sell and get that equity and, and profit from it and put it, or we're going to make it a rental property. But learn how to invest in yourself the right way, as opposed to, I get massages. I love, looking good, but invest in yourself, setting yourself up for the long run. Create a legacy before, even if you don't have children, you can set that up now. The end.
That is good. That's powerful. Oh my gosh, because money habits as a single, when you really get to just build that, oh my gosh, you can do so much. Okay, Royce, if you could share 30 seconds, words of encouragement or any advice.
Yes, I'm gonna give you 28 of them seconds back. Yeah. Investment. I love what Candice said. Investment and self-care. For a man, take care of yourself. Find time. My birthday is next month, by the way. But That's not even the point. Take care of your nails, take care of your feet, take care of your hygiene, because some of us are stinking and God is tired of it. Clean ourselves. Come on, let's get back to the basics. Clean ourselves. Take care of you. I'm finally loving myself. Stop eating all the time. Go exercise. I'm walking now. I'm losing all this because John Clark and okay. We gotta be right in these streets. You are what you attract. I don't want to see Bertha looking some type of way that hunking outside, because that wasn't me hunking, okay? But take care of yourself. Self-care matters. Get your mind right. It's too much going on in these streets. Get your mind right, get your soul right, and talk to God for real. John Hannah said it like this. He said, how I was, hallelujah. Okay, I went from hallelujah to, okay. John Hannah said it best this past week. He said, how I really stay close to God, even my single seasons. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. And that's a point. Thank you, Jesus. For real, for real. Thank you, Jesus. Stay close to him and stay under wise counsel, and be careful who your folks around you are. Don't be around, you can't be with the hoe and then try to be with the principal. Okay, 30 seconds is done. I'm sorry.
I told y'all he could be saved when he wants to be. Okay. Oh my gosh, powerful, brother. Okay, I loved it. I loved it. Okay, Katrina, 30 seconds or less.
So I'm just gonna say I don't like these time constraints and parameters, ma'am. I'm gonna speak what's on my heart, and when I get done, then I'm done.
You silly.
I'm kidding. My words of encouragement that I would have to single people is this: that we need to learn how to navigate in a world that wants us to be booed up. Okay. And I'm a double whammy. I am child free as well. And I just had a conversation with the guy I was dating, and I was like, listen, so I don't have the same issues that most other women have. I don't want children, so I don't hear biological clock ticking. I also don't feel like because I am a certain age, I need to be married. So that's also not my issue. And so while the world looks at us strange, like why you don't want nobody and why you don't want kids and learn to be yourself. As I said in my opening, I live in a very deliberate way. I am at an age where I don't care what other people think about my life. You're not funding my life, so your opinion is of no consequence to me. Um, and I just think more people need to do that with themselves. Enjoy your life. Stop waiting until you have a man or a woman, because we do have a gentleman on the panel. Stop waiting until you have that person in your life to go out and enjoy life. Like I said, you might go up to the symphony and your girl right there, like you don't know. But the more you close yourself off and you reserve these things for very special reasons or purposes, you miss your person. You could be missing your person. Why I'm not, I don't, like I said, I have friends that I want to travel with my man. So you ain't gonna travel till then? Okay, then whatever, man. Like do you, but like I just think we need to stop that. Like as a single person, I would tell other singles, just embrace your singleness. You're not alone. I mean, you're not lonely. There's very much a difference between alone and lonely. And when I travel, I meet people all the time. I get invited to dinners and parties and things of that sort when I'm out in the streets. But what does the Bible say? To have a friend, you got to show yourself friendly. I think we have to incorporate some of that into our lives as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh my gosh. And my thing is also um there's not anything wrong with you if you don't have a desire to be married. That's another misconception, because some people are like, oh, when you get married, when you get married. They don't want to get married right now, or they just don't want to be married, period. And that is okay. Do what is best for you.
Yes, we
God will
definitely have to
bless
create a
you.
space where we're okay in embracing of people who don't want children, who don't want to be married.
Right.
Like that doesn't make us as a woman. My womanhood is not tied to birthing a kid, so that doesn't make me less of a woman because I don't have a kid. That doesn't make Royce less of a man if he says, you know what, I don't want to be married. Like he's still a man. We still are these people. We're still these real people who live in a world, who still live in the real world. And I just think, for a lot of singles and a lot of people in general, they just in general they get caught up in what other people have to say. But I think it's definitely a different thing because we live in such a patriarchal society that everybody thinks that we want to be married and we want to have kids, but that's not always true.
Right. And I agree, because that goes for that too. But God will bless you with the desires of your heart. So if that is not a desire, there's nothing wrong with you. And last but not least, Sister Chandra, if you would like to share with us some encouragement or some advice.
I would just like to say, as being single, don't settle. As been said before, don't settle. Stick to your standards. Whatever your standards are, they are your standards. Don't let other people try to talk you out of them. Don't let people make you think you're desperate. I've been through that. I mean, it's only been, not quite 3 years, but I've been through that where people have made me feel like I'm supposed to be desperate and just take whoever, and I'm not going to. And also be careful, because there are a lot of scammers out there. I have gone on some websites that I mean those what do you call them, dating apps, and that wasn't good. And
Listen, y'all better do them background checks on them phone numbers and do them reverse image searches on them pictures to see if they pull the pictures from other people's websites.
No black
I'm telling you,
because I have pulled up people. I mean, I have had people on Instagram send me messages. I mean, send me friend requests and then send me messages and start talking to me and everything. Later, I find out those pictures I see on somewhere else, and it's somebody else, supposedly or whatever. And one was silly enough to pull a picture of a pastor, a Church of God in Christ pastor who's well known, and put his picture on his page. And this guy didn't change his name. He didn't change his name, so I knew who he was, because he had approached me, and I forgot to delete him. And so when he popped up in my news feed, I see this pastor, and I'm like, am I following him? And then when I seen the name, I was like, no, that's that. I was, oh no. So I blocked him and all that. And then on Facebook, I even let people know on Facebook too. But yeah, there's a lot of crazy people out there, and you just have to be careful of who you talk to. Make sure you know what they look like, when you're talking to them or whatever. If they won't do a video or video chat, bye. Because I've had some come up with some really stupid reasons to why they couldn't video or whatever, and it's like, bye, boy. I ain't got time. So yeah, just be careful and don't settle.